Hey everybody, this is your Digital Super Saiyan 3 back here with another video. And today is a prediction video on who I think will be in the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2019 for the WWE Hall of Fame. Now there basically it's a lot of names that could go into this Hall of Fame for this year for 2019. Now, nothing's been confirmed so far, but these are just the people I think that are going to be in it. The first is the celebrity edition, just to get that out of the way, and that would be Regis Filmin. I mean, Regis Filmin has done a lot to warrant a Hall of Fame induction for the WWE Hall of Fame celebrity wing. I mean, if you don't remember Regis Filmin at WrestleMania 7, he was there with Alex Trebek, but with Regis, he got to call a match, as well as the fact that he was also, he called a match, he called the main event, but, he called the main event of Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter. But also, Regis Filmin also did backstage interviews at WrestleMania 7. One of the most memorable parts of his backstage interviews was his interview with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 7 back in 1991. And Regis Filmin had wrestlers come on his show back in the day, so honestly, it would be great for Regis Filmin to get that induction. I mean, if Drew Carey can get inducted, why the hell can't Regis Filmin? I mean, he's had wrestlers from the WWE come on his show, back then. I mean, having the likes of Hulk Hogan, the Macho Man Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior, Bret Hart. The list goes on and on. Just the number of wrestlers who have appeared on Regis Filmin's show. Next up is Jim the Anvil Knight Hart as the only deceased member. Now, Wrestling Rampage last night said Vader might get in, but I would say Jim the Anvil Knight Hart. I mean, he is a former WWF Tag Team Champion, part of the Hart Foundation. And, he did have some memorable moments. Yes, he did wrestle as the Masked Jobber Who, but we don't mention that. But we're more or less talking about Jim Neidhart as a tag team guy, especially being part of the Hart Foundation with Bret, and how he and Bret were multiple-time tag team champions. And, it would be great to see Jim Neidhart get inducted, because Jim definitely deserves it. And I mean, if Bret's already in the Hall of Fame, why not Jim? And, the person to induct him, of course, has to be his daughter, Natalya. I think Jim Neidhart getting inducted would definitely be great, especially since the fact that, Natalya would be honored to do it, especially since the fact that, we've seen Natalya induct people into the Hall of Fame, so Natalya inducting her dad, it would definitely be a good thing, especially since it's her father. Of course, Natalya would induct her own dad. But next to Jim Neidhart, our next guy that I'm gonna put in there is gonna be William Regal. I gotta say, William Regal would be a perfect induction, because William Regal, he did a lot. I mean, sure, he was a mid-card guy, but he was a great worker back then. Had a lot of talent, a lot of charisma, a great ring technician / brawler. But, William Regal, he can do well when he got in that ring. Former Intercontinental Champion, 2008 King of the Ring winner, former WCW television champion, former tag team champion, holding both the WWE and WCW Tag Team Championships. And not to mention, he's a former European champion as well. And he was also the WWE commissioner back in 2001. So William Regal definitely has memorable moments under his belt. He was the WWF commissioner in the early 2000s and like 2001 or so, after taking over for Mick Foley. He was a very funny commissioner, and he's right now being the general manager of NXT. So William Regal has that under his belt, but I definitely say for his service in the business alone, William Regal definitely in this predictions video. So yeah, Regis Filmin, Jim Neidhart, William Regal. That makes 3 so far. Now the tag team that I'm going to talk about. No doubt about it, Demolition. I mean, come on guys, let's induct Demolition. I mean, they have been one of the longest reigning tag team champions. Heck, they had one of the longest tag team title reigns for nearly 2 freaking decades. And it took till 2016 just for Demolition's record to be broken. So, let's induct Demolition, guys. Come on! When are we going to induct Demolition? I mean, it was great you inducted the Rock and Roll Express and the Dudley Boys, so why not Demolition? Demolition would make a perfect addition to the Hall of Fame. They would be a great tag team to include. So, that's Demolition. So we got Regis Filmin, Jim Neidhart, William Regal, Demolition. Now let's talk about the trademark woman or female superstar who should get inducted. And, well, last year we got Ivory. That was a really good induction. I'm not going to lie, Ivory deserved it. And, of course, before her, we had, of course, Beth Phoenix. And then before Beth Phoenix, we had Jacqueline. But if I got to say who I think is going to be inducted next, I got to say give it to Molly Holly. I mean, Wrestling Rampage already mentioned Molly Holly, but Molly Holly all the freaking way. I mean, 2-time WWE Women's Champion, former WWF Hardcore Champion, if you don't remember WrestleMania 18, though a lot of people do remember WrestleMania 18. I mean, especially the moment where she knocked out the Hurricane with the frying pan and won the Hardcore title off of the Hurricane. And, I mean, Molly was just an overall a great worker. She was a powerhouse in the ring. No one could touch her. It's like, she was tough as nails, but also backstage she was a complete sweetheart. I mean, Molly was a sweetheart, so I say Molly Holly definitely to be the token female, inductee when it came to the women of the business. So, giving that Molly Holly. So, this year's Hall of Fame predictions. Regis Filmin, Jim Neidhart, William Regal, Demolition, Molly Holly. And now the main eventer. And, it was a tough one to choose who I think was going to be that next induction that was in the main event spot. But I gotta say, I'm definitely going to say I definitely gotta say this man. I gotta say it was gonna be Sid Vicious. I definitely gotta say Psycho Sid / Sid Vicious. Former WWE, 2-time WWE champion, former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, former WCW United States Champion. Sid Vicious was, a powerful man in the ring, very big man, psychotic, with some psychotic tendencies. Sid Vicious, / Psycho Sid, I definitely see him getting in because of how, you know, especially how, he was not that good at promos, but, Sid was what he was. I mean, he's a former world champion, for God's sakes. I mean, he was a destructive big man, and yeah, he did what big men do. I mean, they come in and destroy. But, if Sid's not going to get in, maybe the big red machine, Kane. So it's either Sid Vicious or Kane, for this prediction, for the main eventer spot. Either Sid Vicious or Kane. Or maybe The Rock, but I'm more or less leaning towards Kane or Sid Vicious. So yeah, it's either Kane or Sid Vicious. I know people think they had their heart set on The Undertaker, but, if Undertaker does get inducted, he deserves it. He definitely deserves it because of how much he's been there. But, with recent activities going on with The Undertaker, I highly doubt that, but I'm definitely leaning towards either Kane or Sid Vicious. So, yeah. This has been my WWE Hall of Fame Class of 2019 predictions. This is your Digital Super Saiyan 3, and I'll see you next time.